welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new readings every single day. And if you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the King of Swords. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Star. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups, being the overall arching energy of this reading, is telling me that there is something that you're going to have to leave behind, you're going to have to rid yourself of, or you're going to need to walk away from, that is going to allow you to move forward in a much more abundant way. So with the Nine of Cups, I'm seeing that things have been good. There's been a lot of accomplishments. There's been a lot of successes that you've achieved. There's been things that you brought to fruition, but there's still sort of this desire for things to be better or for things to improve. You've gotten better at taking leaps of faith and having trust in yourself and the universe, but there's still sort of this disconnect between the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups, which is more fulfillment. What I'm seeing here is that there's a truth coming in through your masculine energy of logic, practicality, and reason that is going to be bringing you to a new level of understanding when it comes to your manifestations, your spiritual awakening, and your self-awareness. And it's coming with wisdom from previous experiences. We have the owl here, which is also an indication and an omen of blessings coming in. We have the crow here, which has to do with ancestors. So also traditions and the way that things have always been. Connection to the shadow realm and the unseen. Same with the bat here as well. Usually bats are about and we don't see them. And so there's a revealing here of a truth that's coming to the surface. There's a little bit of a wandering energy here with this King of Swords, and I'm seeing that the direction is going to be more clear through this process of releasing what's no longer for you. What I'm really seeing here is that there is a shift in the way that you're going about manifestation, a shift in the way you're perceiving yourself and the world around you, and a shift in the way that you are reacting when it comes to your divine guidance and things from your spirit guides and your team and the universe. But these truths are allowing you to step into a new way of being. So with the Nine of Wands, you are learning better how to become what it is you desire, but also recognizing where you may be holding yourself back. Notice how she's standing here and she has this little teeny fence beneath her that she could step over at any point in time. And it's like she's waiting with this wand for the wand to tell her it's okay to step over the fence. And it's like she's closing her eyes so she doesn't have to see it, when really she could just step over or even step around it. It looks like the fence is only literally right in front of her and on either direction completely ends. And then with the Star, there's a deeper connection to spirit that's happening, but there's also an opening up of the heart chakra, which is allowing you to feel more deeply and understand yourself more deeply and your desires and wants. And with the Ace of Pentacles, there is a long-term sustainable change and offer that's coming in from the universe that's going to affect your finances, your career, your material world, and the world that is around you. And it's like a seed that is going to be planted here that's going to help you build upon a new foundation. But ultimately what I'm seeing here is that a lot of this has to do with not forcing things to happen, which we talked about in Friday's reading. So if you have not seen that reading, I'm going to put it up in the suggestion box. But in that reading, we talked about how a tremendous amount of force is not required to have amazing success. And what I'm seeing here is that to take that a step further, you are going to be learning how to compound your energies. So how to take your energy and multiply it into bigger energies. And it's going to require you to be honest with yourself, because the things that are holding you back from doing this are really small and insignificant, but you are perceiving them as if they're bigger than they are. You are allowing yourself to be limited, allowing yourself to play small, allowing yourself to be prevented from stepping over this little gate. You're being prompted to step into a new way of becoming, where you are taking the energy you have and multiplying it with very little force and very little effort. You are being taught how to do this, and part of it has to do with learning how to be open and vulnerable to receiving, but also open and vulnerable and honest with what it is you desire, and allowing the emotion to back your actions. So the King of Swords is a very action-oriented card in terms of it's a very masculine energy. So even if it's not physical action, it's thought, it's communication, it's the communication of ideas, it's coming up with ideas. The Sun card is indicating a more feminine energy here of intuition, of nurturing, of emotion. So there is a coming together here of the two energies, but there's also this fence in between the two, if you notice, with this Nine of Wands. And keep in mind that when we hit the Ten of Wands, that's when things are not only reaching the end of a cycle, but the Ten of Wands can also indicate that the energies are shifting into a more automatic, habitual sort of energy. And that's kind of where we are here with this. It's like you're not quite to that stage. There's still something holding you back between your masculine and your feminine energy to come together in a way that's going to allow you to compound your energies. You still haven't quite learned how to work together with the two. And part of this has to do with the subconscious mind as well, because the subconscious is feminine energy. The conscious mind is the masculine. You need to learn how to allow the two to work together to compound your energy. This is really where the support between the two is going to allow you to plant bigger seeds that will bear bigger fruit. Let's see if I can get more clarity on specifically what you need to focus on in order to bring a union of the two together. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So funny how literally two of the cards from Friday's reading came out. So I feel like this is definitely confirmation. If you did not watch last week's reading, this is confirmation that you need to go back and watch that, because this is literally the same two cards having to do with allowing versus forcing, and the shift in perspective when it comes to the foundation of allowing versus forcing. So I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole different topic, and I feel like that reading did a really good job of explaining that aspect of it. So I'm not really going to get deeper into these cards. If you want more information on that, watch that reading. But with the Page of Cups, what's interesting here is we have this pig with wings, and I keep hearing when pigs fly. The thing that I think a lot of you are struggling with is that the masculine wants everything to be very logical and practical and rational. And it's funny because a lot of people struggle this when it comes to money and finances as well. They are baffled when they recognize that somebody who has created savings when they were younger with smaller amounts of money because of compounding has more money in the long run than somebody who invested a lot of money into their savings account when they were older and had compounding from that point in time. There's still this lack of comprehension when it comes to the way your feminine energy works. A lot of you have cut your feminine energy off for so long, or have been so out of tune with it for so long, or have just really been working from a masculine energy of giving, where you overworked, or you forced things, or you were very forceful in the way you went about stuff, that you kind of have forgotten how oftentimes the success and the manifestation is not logical. Things happen in ways that can be hard to believe and can be difficult to understand. I just got a notification, and it's 12:46 at the time that I'm recording this. That may be an additional message for you. But anyway, there's this disconnect too, because we have this guy sitting down here, and then we have these feet floating in the air. There's this disconnect between wanting to be grounded and wanting to believe in the impossible, but it's like that belief is not always working together with the masculine energy. What needs to happen here is there needs to be a deeper trust that you're building with yourself, your intuition, and with the universal energies. You've got to have more faith in planning for what is going to happen, even when there's no indication in sight that it's going to. That's going to help you compound your two energies and bring the two together in a way that you are then going to be able to build upon the energy with very little effort from a place of authenticity, but also in a way where your masculine and your feminine energies are working together in tandem to bring you what it is that you desire. The Page of Cups is very much a card of expect the unexpected, and that's kind of what this is trying to teach you to do. You've got to have faith and trust in believing and acting as if what you desire is already coming to you, is already on its way, is already here. And to take that a step further, when you are doing it in a way where you're allowing and you're not forcing, but you're being consistent and recognizing that you don't need a tremendous amount of force to achieve that, it puts you in this flow state of energy that maximizes your energy, backing the things that you want. That's what you're being prompted to do. But in order for you to fully come to the full realization of this and the full understanding of it, you're going to be required to walk away from old ways of thinking, being, and doing. You're going to have to walk away from things that in the past maybe have even been somewhat successful, because we have this bowl that's actually on fire here, but it's very contained because there's water around the fire. Your passions, which are also part of your feminine energy, will ignite more when you are able to do this, when you're able to trust that you are in direct communication with the universal energies at all times, and that is being responded to. When you learn how to believe that whatever need you have that you put out to the universe must be responded to. It must. The desire and the need is there for a purpose. And some of you are struggling with some of these things because they don't make any logical sense. It's sort of like in the way that math can be very, very logical, but then when you start getting into physics and all these other things, suddenly it doesn't make any sense at all. It's sort of the same thing. You've got to learn how to see the practical and the non-practical and how they work together, how the logical and the illogical work together, how the logic and the planning can support the passion and the emotion, and vice versa. You still have a wall that's blocking between the two energies, but there's a light here that's trying to lead you in the right direction. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that you're getting at this time. It's going to be very important to tell you what it is you need to walk away from, but it also means you're going to have to really look at what is working, what's not working, what needs to change, what is actually making you happy and fulfilled and what is not, or what is making you very happy and fulfilled and what is only your 9 of Cups, which is like good but not as great as it could be, where you're holding yourself back from living your full potential. So I'm going to leave the reading here because I feel like there's a lot of work to be done on this end, and a lot of that needs to sort of sink in, and there may be a lot of thought process that needs to happen in terms of really understanding what I'm saying with all of this and how it pertains to you. But positive things are coming as long as you continue to do this work, and you'll know that you've done the work when the work feels completed, when you've decided it's done, but also when you believe it's done. And also keep in mind that with that, growing never really stops. You can have periods where you are bearing the fruits of your labor from previous work, but then there will be a cycle of change. So it's not that after you do this, there'll never be anything ever again that you need to work on or need to change or want to change. It's more of, this is the next step to take you to the next level of the 10 of Cups, which would be more fulfillment, more happiness in the different relationships of different things in your life. So your affirmation for this reading is, I am trusting in the impossible and infinite abilities of the universe. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.